So left side is volume profile and low volume nodes, right? Top is normal. The bottom includes the chop avoidance. And it's what's happening right now is sort of the thing we're interested in studying, because we exited the value area. And this is the low volume, the value area low right there. And now you're starting to build volume down here. You see this here. You see the profile. And so the question is, does the chop avoidance help you as this happens, right? So you exited the low volume area, the value area, and now you're going sideways. Do you need this chop avoidance, or just as you build volume, you don't even there's no low volume nodes to work with yet. We won't take any trades here. So does it help us, or does it or not? It's kind of the question that we want to answer with these two charts here on the left. So we'll do the prediction as we exit the value area. All right, but then once we're out here, we're in no man's land. The actual profile is up here, right? Here's the, where is it? This, that's the wrong button here. This here. I keep pressing the wrong button. There we go. Here's the value area. So now we're outside of it and we're building volume down here. So we're in price discovery mode basically. Only just now did we finally get a low volume node. So now, as if we get near that, we'll make predictions. And so the idea was that, well, we see this happen. You exit the value area, then you start to build volume. And what that means is that this kind of sideways action is happening. We have a way to deal with sideways action, right? That's what these are. That's what these are over here. And the question is, do we need them in this chart or not? Does it help us or does it hurt us? All right, so here we are at the end of the day. It was a pretty wild day. It's July 30th. My live result is minus 35. We can take a quick look at that, but I want to spend some more time on the two tests that are running live here, because it's pretty interesting results. Where did we go? So we started trading at 645 because it was more than 40 point overnight range, but less than 60. It was like 58. So we shorted here, make a little bit, and market's going sideways. We don't get filled on this short here. Actually, I'm sorry, no, we can't take that short because it's the background's red. And then let's see here. So we end up missing that because of the chop avoidance. Nothing through here. That's blackout at news. Here we try to go short and take a loss. Market climbs up. Very active market. This was interesting here. So we short there and then immediately go long. I hate it when that happens. Just because as a human, you would never do that. Unfortunately, one of the whole reasons you use the automated system is to do the things you can't do. In this case, I took a full loss on the short and then a half loss on the long. Short here to make 5 and 1, kind of making up for that. And let's see, and then we get. So here's that exact case, right? We short here, take a loss, immediately get long, and make 5 and 1. So that's this is exactly what you want to happen. You want the machine to just do what it's been trained to do. And then a long to make 5 and 3/4. A lot of movement here. Wow. And we're getting towards the end here. So then a short here that looks like it takes a fair amount of, that looks like a lot of slippage, but it says 250, 250. And then another case here. This is a little painful here because we're getting long and we're getting stopped out by a few ticks. On a nice little move there, not huge, because the market's kind of ugly right there. And that's it, because we stop at 9. Those of you that have been paying attention may wonder, that looks a lot like a resistance level, and you would kind of expect to see chop avoidance, don't take longs. But the distance this distance is so big that it doesn't kick in. So you can take trades down here because you're far enough away, is my point. Actually, that's not the case. Here, this trade here is tracking off of that point and that point, but then you don't get any blues out here, which is looking at that, I kind of the market's going kind of sideways. But this distance here, that yellow arrow is so big that it doesn't kick in. All right, let's look at the volume profile systems here. So two things are going on here. This is running the same method in terms of identifying where to make predictions to get into the market. It's using an optimized model for the volume profile. So it's a different model that's running in the other case. In the live market that we just looked at. This made 25.25 points. This other test here generates 34 points. The difference, actually, let's look at this one here because it's more. The difference is that the one on bottom is also implementing the chop avoidance. Okay, so the initial thinking was that we're getting choosy enough with where we enter that we don't need to implement the also the chop avoidance. And that, what I saw was that's probably true for just normal behavior, what we would call overnight ranges of less than 40 points. Quieter markets, more normal markets, whatever normal means anymore. At least, like prior to February 2nd of this year. But when the market is wild, or when it's running, what we see is the market will build a profile, right? And then it'll break, all right? And if it starts to build another profile there, that's where you get into trouble, and the chop avoidance can help you. If it starts building volume in a new distribution, that's where chop avoidance can help. So I suspect we'll end up with guidelines on when to use chop avoidance with volume profile and when not to. But we'll see. We'll work it out here. In any case, I have it set up so you just turn it off and on by setting this to 0 or 1. All right. Today, we see that including chop avoidance netted more than not considering it. So 25 points versus 34 points. This is sim. Don't forget, we haven't switched to live yet. That's interesting because the initial testing was showing me the opposite, which is kind of why I think that when it's not a wild day, you'll end up doing better not avoiding chops, or not turning on the chop avoidance. So we'll just have to see. I'm liking what I'm seeing here in terms of the volume profile system, particularly since on a day like today, I'm much more confident that the system is smart enough now. I hate to use the word smart, but that you're not taking, the wildness isn't just destroying you, like what happens with sort of the normal method. So basically, the way to think about it is the volatility is directly correlated to just an increase in randomness in the market. All right, and so this is really helping mitigate that by identifying specific places where we, in real time, where we expect to see the market, do something. All right, so when it's a normal day, then we sort of expect it at the either at inside the value area at places where not much trading has occurred, so at low volume nodes, or at the edges of the distribution, which in this case, as we're looking on screen, is already up here because the market broke lower already. And when you break out like this, well, then instead of just getting caught in the craziness, we basically are waiting for enough movement and enough volume with that movement to define a location to then do something. And so we're letting the market define it in a very intelligent way. All right, and so here's a good example of what I just described, where we break lower, all right, and then the market starts to go sideways here. Okay, so this is just trading death, right? And we want to stay away from that. So the chop avoidance is going to keep you out of trouble here. But you'll also notice that we're actually only doing something here. There aren't only at orange bars are we making predictions. So you'll see, you can see that a lot of this area we're just not messing with because it's not low volume anymore. It's not a low volume node. There's been enough trading where this has been a low volume node, and now it's not because enough trading has occurred there. So there's sort of just inherent in the way that we're looking at the location at that price level helps us stay out of trouble in terms of choppiness. Today, what we saw was this method. So not avoiding chop using the chop avoidance system that's based on the waves. It made 25 and a quarter. I'm not going to go through all these trades. It was a wild day. And here, what we see is that this protected. So we made a full 9 points more, okay, because we won't allow it to take trades when the waves are defining choppiness. Okay, so and it's set up so we can turn it off and on very easily. Just we'll end up with guidelines that state when we can when to use it and when not to. There's a beautiful short right here. So you can see what's happened here. We've exited the value area here. There's actually a short right there, 241, which would be beautiful, but you don't take it because of chop avoidance. I think you end up getting stopped for a small loss right there because of the trade management. And then you pull back to this low volume node gets set right there. So this price level of 84.75, you pull back to it, and you get a prediction there short. This is exactly what this is designed to do. A lot of times you'll pull all the way back to this value area low, and then we'll get predictions there. So a nice short there. What I've noticed in terms of when we get in trouble is more cases where this is a case where the value area low is going sideways. So the chop avoidance just protects you from there. But where I've seen us get hurt in testing. I don't know if we have a case of it today. Let me find a location here. If the let's see here. Basically, if the value area is falling and price is like sort of moving right along with it, so you're trading enough volume that you're expanding the value area at the same rate as price is falling, that's when we get in trouble here using this approach, because you're not really exiting the value area. You just you're kind of trailing in it. So if we look up here, if price was like traveling like this, I've seen it on climbs mostly more than falls, but if price is just doing this, then we'll get, the system will go, hey, look, we're near the value area. Let's make a prediction. But really, the market's just kind of grinding here, and you can get ugly fast. So that might be something we have to think about. In any case, I'm pretty pleased with what I'm seeing here. I am trying to get this ready and releasable by this weekend for members. We'll see if I can get that done or not. There's a change to the server and to the DLL, and I'm actually making those the final testing tonight. And if I can get that done, then I can burn it in live the rest of the week, and then it's a release candidate at that point. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Pretty excited about what I'm seeing here in terms of the way that adding volume profile into the machine learning system is improving things. So we'll just continue to make the incremental improvements we've signed up for here.